Well, this is definitely a low video output for me this year, but one video is better than none, so welcome back to the top 10 games I played in 2022. Same rules apply as before, only games I played for the first time this year count for the list, though at the top of my head I can't think of any remakes, remasters of games I played that came out this year. The Last of Us, technically, although I didn't even realize that came out. Oh well, on to the list. I'm a huge Digimon fan, and I should get a t-shirt saying I survived the wait for Digimon Survive. Digimon Survive is a visual novel with some turn-based battles mixed in, and this is one of the main reasons I've not beaten Digimon Survive. I've enjoyed what I've played so far, but the visual novel takes a bit of time to make sure you get the full story, and it's something that most days of the week I can't commit to. Normally I would go a bit into the story, but I only know what I've played, and for reference, as of writing, I don't have any ultimates. As of recording, I do. I've got 2, and the story gets a lot darker than I thought it would. And one story beat I do know after the point I was at when I wrote this doesn't surprise me based on what I know from Digimon and how the character was treating the Digimon in question. The only question I have left is, will my theories for the story turn out to be true? But that will probably come after I finish this video. Or sooner, considering I broke a rib not too long after writing this part of the script. Yay, pain! When you theme a game around a holiday, things for the most part don't end up well. But when it does work, it can work really well. Just like in Pumpkin Jack. Pumpkin Jack is a 3D platformer with some light combat, which isn't the best, but you aren't fighting too much, so it's not that big of an issue. The story is the devil wishes you to rule the world, but a wizard stands between the devil and the world, so he summons Jack, the greatest trickster in history, to destroy the wizard. There are a handful of levels, each one with a minigame of sorts, be it riding a minecart to taking off Jack's head to run around as, well, a pumpkin. Overall, Pumpkin Jack is a fun game that doesn't overstay its welcome, only being about 5 hours long to beat. At least that's how long it took me, and I almost got everything in the game. You know, and being from an indie team, I do look forward to see what they work on next. With the launch of a new generations of consoles, we see tech demos for said consoles. Some are better than others. For every Wii Sports, we get 1-2 Switch. But for the PS5, we got Astro's Playroom. Astro's Playroom is, just like I said, a tech demo to show off the PS5's controller, and wow, to those who haven't had a chance to use the haptic feedback on the controller, it's actually really cool. And to help, we have a healthy bit of nostalgia with a look at the past from the PS1 all the way to the PS5. As a short little tech demo, I actually wish for a bit more in this simple 3D platformer, but for what we get, I can't really complain, as visually the game is great, and all the references littered throughout are awesome as well, even if I don't know half of them. With every new year, it seems we get a new Pokemon game, and this year is no exception. We got 2 in fact, and both made the list, but which one did I enjoy more? Well, if we go by which one I felt like playing more even after finishing the main story, which makes it easy for Pokemon Scarlet to make number 7. For a new Pokemon generation, we get even more new Pokemon to the dex, and wow, we are now over 1,000. I really should rethink completing the dex. The Paldea region is honestly one of the more interesting regions to me over the last few games, only beaten by the Hisui region from Legends Arceus. I just wish it looked a bit better and didn't have some performance issues. Now my Switch is a first year model, so that may affect it, but seeing as most people have complained about it, I don't think this is the case. The new Pokemon have some of the best designs I've seen in some time, while also having some of the lamest new Pokemon at the same time. I do think the good outweighs the bad here, but it's worth noting. Being open world makes having a story a bit difficult, but unlike something like Breath of the Wild, which has story issues, I don't think apply too much to Pokemon Scarlet, as you have a few different objectives to work towards, even if I did half of them out of the intended order. Like doing the fire type team star leader as my second or third, I don't really recall which one it was. On the topic of the story, it took some turns I didn't expect, and I didn't like the main rivals, if you can even call them that much at first. Penny was the one I liked the most at first, as Nemona came on way too strong at first for battling, and Arven was honestly to me just kind of a dick. I did eventually warm up to both of them in time, and Koraidon, he's just Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, and I love Toothless. As a side note, I guess Scarlet was trying to go for a better spot on the list, as it gave me 3 random shiny Pokemon before I beat the game. My friend was pissed. He's going to be even more pissed now because it got up to 5. As previously mentioned, I now have a PS5, and the first game I played with a recommendation from my friend Wolf KO Sean is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. I'm not the biggest fan of Ratchet & Clank, as I played more of Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper, but wow, I'm still surprised with how few times I thought to myself, okay, there's a hidden load screen here. I can think of maybe one time I thought that, if that. The gun gameplay is in full force here, with all the weapons and the platforming being very enjoyable, which at no point gets way too BS or unfair. The story leads Ratchet & Clank apart to meet Rivet and Kit respectively, while Dr. Nefarious and eventually Emperor Nefarious do whatever bad guys do with multi-dimensional travel. Visually, you can really tell this was made for the PS5. It looks so good, and it makes me want to see how far the PS5 can be pushed. Well, I kind of already spoiled this one, so Pokemon Legends Arceus, everyone! To me, this is actually a breath of fresh air for the Pokemon franchise, as this game is the first one that requires you to catch as many Pokemon as you can. As before, you could just go through any Pokemon game without catching anything, even if it's really hard to do, but you can do it. After falling from the sky, you join the Galaxy Expedition team and learn more about the Lord Pokemon and their frenzies by throwing food at them and trying not to die. Being in the past means we meet ancestors of people we know from Pokemon, and Ingo from Unova, which, considering he has a brother, it makes it really sad. Now, not everyone has someone that we think they relate to, but I can't wait to see when and if they pop up. As I said before, catching Pokemon is more important than ever, but completing the Pokedex is different, with different challenges to get the dex full. And the new Pokemon of the past? Am I talking about Scarlet again? Anyway, I am very happy with the evolutions we got, and I hope they get brought into new games somehow. We're way too good to be just left in Arceus. For number 4, I have to give a thank you to Fawful's Minion, as he said something that caught my eye. He said it was similar to BioShock, and to a point, I agree. But I wish Ghostwire Tokyo was a bit more like BioShock. Set in Tokyo, I know, big shock, you play as Akido, who had just crashed his bike. So he's not having the best day, but it's gonna get worse, as a nearby spirit named KK picks Akido to be the perfect body to fight an army of ghosts. Which, since Akido isn't dead yet, they kind of combined together, so now it's up to both of them to save Tokyo from a madman that has some insane powers. The enemies are based on myths from Japan. You can even find yokai around the world, and the combat is very fun once you get used to the camera controls. I'd say go into the options and get them the way you like. The best way I can describe it, it feels like I should be using a mouse even though I'm on a console. But combat is fun, even if I wish there was a few more options that didn't require KK. Visually, this game is fantastic. I like every enemy design, even if the first enemy I saw made me think of Slenderman. The city looks good as well, even if I can't find my way around the city, as it feels too copy-pasted outside of a handful of landmarks. But this leaves me with a feeling of I've not gone too far when I've gone to the other side of the map. The last thing I wish we explored more is KK's past. We find out a bit about it, but not as much as I would have liked for a main character. There is a visual novel Prelude that I have not played that looks like it goes more into it, but we already know how much I enjoy visual novels. With every multiplayer game, you have to get people into playing it either by making it free to play like Apex Legends, or if you do make people pay, you have to make it worthwhile for people to pick up. And Splatoon 3 is 100% worth the price. Splatoon 3 is the newest Splatoon game, but the second one is on the Switch, which is interesting to see how much it changes from Splatoon 2, and how much it takes from the Octo expansion. The story is a bit different, as you are the new Agent 3 after the old one became the new captain, but the now retired Captain Cuttlefish is our damsel in distress against the fuzzy goo that is spread all over Alternia. So how does the new idol group fit into things? Well, they are the main bosses you fight until they join you near the end of the game to fight in space. This game is weird, man, but the story is only half the battle here, as turf wars are just as much fun as before, but the main fun I've been having has been in Salmon Run. And as we just had our first big run, it's been a blast. I just wish I recorded footage because that would have been smart of me to do. So Splatoon has just been plain fun, unless I can't do anything. Satan wiped us all fucking out. Someone kill that fucker! That is not a hard round. I couldn't. I am getting angry at a game. Holy shit, that has not happened to me in a while. That low quota. Plus that round is easy. I had the E leader. I should be back. I shouldn't be the one pushing. I am more amazed at how pissed off I am at that. Oh, I haven't been so mad at a game in so long. When Horizon Zero Dawn came out, it was really overshadowed by Breath of the Wild, but now with Horizon Forbidden West, nothing overshadowed it. For a week until Elden Ring came out. Aloy is back with the task of finding Gaia and getting her system back up and running, as the other functions are killing the planet. And that's not the only problem we have here, folks. There are humans coming to kill you called the Zenith. They are immortals, as they are from before the world ended, and with hunter-gatherer weapons, we don't stand a great chance. Even less so when we meet Beta, another clone of Elizabeth Sobek, making Aloy not the only person that can open the doors of the old ones. The troubles for Aloy don't end there, as we get to the Tenakth fighting rebels that are hell-bent on killing the Karja, which the current leader wants peace with them, all while fighting new and returning machines, which the old machines are used more sparingly, while the new machines are fun to fight with, my favorite being the Claw Strider, but the most fun to take down was the Sliverfang. Aloy isn't alone in this fight either. She makes some allies with the returning Varl, but most are new, and all of them get used to the focus so they actually feel equal with Aloy, with the only thing keeping Aloy above the rest is just how long she's been using it. And as always, Thunder's jaws are terrifying, and they added even more shit to scare me. Sliverfangs being only one of them. Now, when Ghost of Tsushima got nominated for the Game Awards, I got mad that it mostly lost, but when Xenoblade 3 got nominated, I knew it wasn't gonna win, but I still really enjoyed it. Just like I enjoyed this clip of playing Apex with my friends.
0 damage this game.
Oh. You dumb sack of shit!
What is the timing on that shit?
Fucking bullshit ass timing. Like as soon as I opened the door.
This is the first time I played through a Xenoblade game and finished it in the year it released, as 2 took me a while, and the less we say about the first game, the better. In a world where you live for only 10 years and fight basically the whole time, the war between Kevis and Agnes seems endless, and that was the point, as Noah, Mio, Senna, Lance, Tyon, and Best Girl Uni find out. in their fight against Mobius. With how much is going on, I'm a little surprised the game keeps a stable frame rate with how good it looks. Sure, something like Ratchet and Clank easily looks better, but it's on the Switch. It just shows that Pokemon Scarlet needed more time for the stability of the game. As this is a JRPG, if you can spend 100 plus hours to get through the game, you'll find a fantastic story, and I have to give a general shout out to the Xenoblade community, as they kept it spoiler free for a good while, and somehow I got to some characters the day before people started talking about them on Twitter. For example, Juniper. I met them the night before I saw them on Twitter. It was just really surreal, and that was just the first time that happened. It was kind of weird. And yes, because it's Xenoblade, there are things that can one-shot you all the way through the game. And that's my list. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. And if you think someone else will enjoy this video, make sure to share this on all your social medias. I've been Mr. everyone, and I hope, beyond hope, that I actually make some videos next year. Catch you guys on the flip side. Later.